So you want to build a new fence and you don't know where to start. Well, there's a few things you need to think about. You need to think about your design, and then you need to think about the materials that you want to use. So there's 3 different types of fences you can choose from. I'm going to show you which those 3 types are. I'm also going to show you the different types of material you can choose. So come with me and I'll talk to you about it. Okay, so let's talk about the design of your fence. There's basically 3 different designs you can use for a fence. The most common one is called Good Neighbor, or most people call it shadow box. This is a really good example of a shadow box fence. Shadow box means you can kind of see the shadows coming through when the sunlight comes through. So it's not butted up against each other, and it's called Good Neighbor because you can kind of still see your neighbors through the cracks, but you still get some privacy. And it's got decorative lattice on top. This is just for decoration. You can do the top of the fence any way you want. Often people use lattice with nice post caps. Another option is to use a 2x6 and a 2x4 to kind of make it look like an I-beam. That's another way to finish it. There's definitely different ways you can finish it. So option number 1 is the most common. It's called the shadow box, where the boards are separated, but you can still see through the gaps. Just for demonstration here, we've put a couple boards on here to make the one called board on board fencing. So there's a board here, and then these 2 boards are on top of it. So you really can't see any gaps and you can't see through the fence. That's a really nice design because it adds some depth to the fence. It also provides a lot of privacy. So that's another great option. So a third option you can do is called solid board, which you can see in this gate here. Solid board is where the boards are butted up against each other. So when this was first installed, they were probably butted really tight, but inevitably with wood, it dries out. And when it dries out, it shrinks and there's gaps in the boards. Now you may not mind those little gaps. It's just something to think about when you do the design. It might be really tight when you first put it in, you might love it, but just know that there will be gaps that are brought in. So there's the 3 types. There's the solid board on this gate. There's the shadow box, which has nice gaps that you can still see your neighbor. And the third type is called board on board, where there's no gaps, but there's some nice depth and it looks really nice. So another thing to think about when you're building your fence is what type of material do we want to use for the fence? I would say most fences are built with pressure treated wood, and that's what we would recommend. When you're using pressure treated, it will last a long time. It looks really nice. Another wood option would be to use cedar. Now, cedar looks really nice. You won't see any of this coloring. It's a beautiful looking fence. In terms of length of time that it will last as long as pressure treated, as long as you maintain that fence. And maintaining requires staining that fence every 2 or 3 years to make sure that it's well kept. So if you want to have a really nice looking fence, you're okay with spending a little bit more in lumber, you're also okay with staining it every 2 to 3 years, then cedar is a good option for you. But it will cost you a lot more than pressure treated, which is why most people use pressure treated. The third option you have for fences is composite or PVC fences. So those are obviously made of plastic material that will last forever. So a great option. They also now have composite posts that you can put in. So the whole fence is made with composite or PVC. You put it in, it will last forever. So great option if you like the look of PVC and if you like the cost of PVC, which is obviously going to cost a lot more. So it's just a decision of how long do you want this fence to last and what do you want it to look like to make your decision. Again, most people choose pressure treated because it's the most costly, it lasts a good amount of time, and it looks pretty good. So you choose. So I've talked to you about the different types of designs you can use for your fence. I've talked to you about the different types of materials. It comes down to your design choice and your budget. If you liked what you saw today, you can like and subscribe. Or if you want Absolute Home Services to do it, we'd love to help. Give us a call.